car's still there. Oh, I forced him off. Oh, I've been biffed. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. How the hell did I keep that? I have no idea. Yes. Tucked in the... Oh, that was a big one. Oh, hey guys. Didn't see you there. Jimmy here. Part-time racer, full-time twat. And welcome back to another video. I don't really know what I was doing there. I thought it'd be fun. I guess it really wasn't. So yes, I've been super busy recently. Like, crazy busy. Last week, which was actually my birthday week, I'm extending it now, I had one day at home. The rest was out doing stuff for Gran Turismo or out racing with the Praga. I mean, pretty good reasons to be busy, but it does mean I've not had enough time to come back and do some of this cool sim content that I actually enjoy doing quite a lot. So glad to be sitting here right now and back in the rig. And in that time where I've been away, there have been updates, new bits, fun things, which is quite rare for sim racing, so it's always fun to jump on it. And they are updates, DLC, to Automobilista 2. Now AMS2, I think it's fair to say, I've never really been the biggest fan of. The way it drives to me, it's never really been, I don't know, I've never really clicked with it. It doesn't really feel like I would imagine the cars to feel in real life, and as a massive sim racing nerd, that's sort of what I strive for personally. I strive for the cars to feel as realistic as possible. But I'm told with this new DLC, which I think is called the American Pack, I should probably check that. I should do this before I start the video, but I don't. No, it's called Racing USA. I totally knew that. And that brings some new content, some GTE cars, which is always good. GTE cars are very popular at the moment, I think. Cadillac DPI, which is big for me. I love prototypes, as well as a couple of new circuits as well. Laguna Seca's in there. We also have the Daytona Road Course, so fairly decent update, or DLC I'd say, but it also comes with an absolute ton of physics reworks as well, and that also interests me, again, because as I said, AMS2 has never really felt like 100% a sim to me, so anything to adjust the physics in, I'm always interested to see how they feel, and if it helps change my mind somewhat. Now, given that this is probably going to be an opinion video, I want to just put a little disclaimer out there and say you are completely free to disagree with my opinion. All I ask is that in the comments, try and keep it civil. If I say something you disagree with, feel free to bring me up on it and we'll have a discussion down below. The great thing about sim racing is that we don't have to all like each other's things, we can just enjoy the things we enjoy. But I want to enjoy AMS2, I want to enjoy and drive as many sims as possible, so that's why I keep coming back to it every now and then to see if it's got to a point that I actually enjoy driving. So here's what we're going to be driving today, the Cadillac DPI. Perhaps a little bit predictable, but it's a prototype. I've always wanted to drive this thing. It sounds awesome in real life, looks awesome in real life, and given that Daytona is probably one of the more famous American circuits, I thought I'd try it around here because I've driven here a lot and I know what a prototype feels like around here. And given that we're in Automobilista, I think it'd be a crime not to do some sort of time lapse. So we've got the time acceleration on at times 60, so every minute in real life is 60 minutes in game. And I've got my AI set to 100%. That's about where I'm at with it at the moment. And a special treat, because you guys have been asking for it for ages and ages and ages. It's not quite rigged up properly, but we've got the foot cam complete with the sim racing slippers. Right then, Daytona time in AMS2. Now, I'm starting at the back of the prototype field, so down in P15. Obviously, we're going to try and get in as many places as we can before the end of the race. I've done a very, very slight setup change, because I don't really know if the AI respond to your setup in this or not, and all I've done is just increase my final gear a little bit. Well, see, here we are, inside the Cadillac DPI in the cockpit. Always wanted to drive this in a sim, so happy to be doing so now. Stands for the people on the right. Come see a degenerate sim racer do a race around Daytona, and we're away. They start us in first gear for some reason, so we get a little bit of a slow start compared to the rest. Down towards T1. Pick our braking point. Let's try here. Going to be nice and soft on the brakes on the way in. Everything is cold. Hello, Mr. Fellow DPI in front. I'm going to try and race these guys as you would in real life, so not do any sort of too crazy sense. Just try and find a little bit of road that's yours. Nice and safe. Not too much contact if we can get away with it. I say that as I just crunch the guy in front slightly. Side by side with the guy on the right now. Who's going to blink first through the fast right? Neither of us apparently. And then anchors down to the horseshoe. Don't grab too much of the grass there. We're right on the outside now. That guy's on the inside. Car's moving around quite a bit in the slow speed, just sort of skipping around. And now let's double send, double send, double send, double send. Easy, easy. Just releasing the brake a little bit there to get the block pass done. But cuts you back, and now we're going to just jump into the slipstream, and we should hopefully now be past that 22 behind. He's got the draft as well. Go away! Leave me be! He's fifth gear. Going to pull out, just about got enough for him to do that. Coming into the fast chicane now. That car's still there. Oh, I forced him off. Oh, I've been biffed. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. How the hell did I keep that? I have no idea. These AI really don't give you anything, man. He's still there. He's on my inside now. You can't see him. I can see him on the mini-map in the top right. Again, I've got the draft, though. There's nowhere to go here. Screw it. Ah! Get around the outside. Come on, caddy. And got to outbrake him. Coming down the bottom here. Take the line away. Release the brake as we come into the corner. A little bit late there. Too much load in the front right tyre. That's one lap done, and we survived just. Down the horseshoe once again. Come on. Somehow I'm able to get rid of the understeer by just smashing the throttle, which is an interesting technique. I wouldn't try that really in real life. Come from the kink again. Let's see if we can catch this pack in front. Let's talk about AMS2 while I'm doing that. I've never really enjoyed AMS2, if I'm honest. There have been a couple of scenarios where it's been fun, like in VR, with certain cars and certain circuits, but that's more just the immersion of the game. The actual physics, the actual driving, I've never really got a hold of and never really enjoyed too much. And even though there have been some physics upgrades done to the game, I still don't really feel that now. I still feel like the game is not quite there yet in terms of simulation value. I mean, in this car, for example, just the couple laps I've driven off camera to sort of prepare for the video, it feels simultaneously too hard, too stiff and too soft at the same time. And I can't really explain to you why. You see the car skips around a lot, but if you soften it up, it becomes this wallowy mess. And you see a little bit of that through the slow corners in the toe now. Come on, get rid of them. Look at that, that extra gearing really paying off. Go on, down the bottom, down the bottom. Oh, take them all, mate, take them all. Oh, the AI firing it back though. There, for example, on exit, I always seem to have this weird sort of oversteering moment on the throttle, which is very controllable. These cars don't really move around that much in real life. They're quite planted, you know. That's how they make them go fast. But this thing feels like it's always kind of moving around. It's always skipping over the tarmac. Like the tyres are almost not connected to the surface. I can't really explain it. A lot of the comparisons I'm making here, I'm sort of comparing them to the iRacing LMP2, because right now I think that's probably one of the best LMP2s, one of the best prototypes you can drive in sim racing. And this, the DPI, which is meant to be a bit quicker than the LMP2, just isn't quite on that same level. You know, it just doesn't quite have that same connection to the road that makes me feel confident actually driving this car hard and pushing it through the corners. I always feel like I'm having to sort of wait for the car to settle itself in some weird way on the suspension before I can actually chuck it into the corner. I'm not quite clever enough to explain why that is, but that's what I can feel. Chuck her over the curbs. So there, for example, I'm loading up the front left tyre, and I should be understeering there at that point because the weight's all over that part of the car, but instead all four wheels are pushing over. It should just be this front left one. It's a very odd sensation. Look at this toe, mate. AI getting a bit bunched up. Take advantage of that. Goodbye, lads. Straight line driving. That's what I specialise in. Jimmy the straight line specialist. Probably brake a bit later there, but I was actually good. Transition nicely. There you go. A bit softer onto the throttle this time, and the car seemed to respond a bit better. But the thing is, if I'm not meant to be yeeting the throttle on the way out of the corner, I should be punished for it, you know, like, having this little slide isn't punishing. In fact, I think it's actually quicker to have that sort of moment out there and just cook the rear tyres a little bit. And that's where I get confused with this, because obviously a lot of comparisons will be made to Project Cars 2, because that's pretty much what this game was birthed from. You know, with the guys at Racer doing their best to bring this thing up to scratch and make it feel a bit closer to something like AMS1, but no, this is why I never really play it that much, because I find that I just start picking holes in it when really what I want to do is sit down and enjoy it. It's coming on to the banking now, and this is where, you know, I can push all those criticisms to one side and just enjoy this, enjoy the show, enjoy the colours coming into the sky, the oranges there, the yellows and the purples that become more pronounced as the sun goes down. Took a lot of speed in there. Just bottoming out over the curb, and you see the cars in front. Oh, one big queue. We are catching them though. I mean, that does look pretty awesome though, doesn't it? And this is the thing. I think this is what people in AMS do. They go, oh man, I'm not really enjoying how it drives. And they see all the pretty stuff and go, ooh, that's nice. This game is a sort of nice single player experience. I wouldn't want to drive multiplayer as I just completely missed. Jimmy, you got a brake, remember, mate? One in the middle, dude. Got to hit it. So coming on to penultimate lap though. Oh, look how pretty this looks though. Look how nice this looks. You have to give it credit where credit's due, don't you? Oh, there you go. So the lights now going to become a bit more pronounced at the front of the car. I do wonder how much of this could be fixed with setup, the way this car handles, but then the question I'd be saying is, why do we not have these baseline setups in place? You know, because not everyone has setup knowledge to be able to go, okay, this car needs X, Y, Z, but I have no idea how to do that. And then your impression of the game is this, where it's like, oh, it feels a bit odd. You know, it feels a little bit bumpy, a little bit slidey. Come on, right, we're getting closer now. Oh, trying to take the GTE line through there, and oh, it don't like it, it don't like it. Let's try and get just a little sniffer draft now. They're all together, we should be getting something. Them being that close. Oh, they're in the warp bed, sparks flying. Come on. Come on, little caddy. Come on, Badalak. Send her in a T1. Fuck it. Oh, wow, you can carry a lot of brake into there. And now we're in night, just like that. Again, does look good at night, this game, but you have to ask yourself, was this worth all the hype? Having something that looks pretty, but ultimately doesn't really deliver. You know, I'd say in some circumstances, and you might crucify me for this, but when I played F1 2021 the other week, it felt more predictable than this. The cars don't scoot around so much. They act like they've got downforce and slick tyres. These act like they're on road tyres sometimes through some of these corners. The way it moves. But it's still fun. You know, I've got to give it that. It is still fun. Maybe that's just what you need, just a bit of fun sometimes. Not everything has to be super duper serious. Okay, it's going to be one big quality street style send here. Oh god. Yes. Go on, go on, go on, go on. Okay. That was a bit too much. We might have lost out the chance to the top 5. It's going to be a drag race to the line, just like it always is at Daytona. I should have him though. There's the toe. There's the toe. I'm not going to be close enough to anything with these guys. Come on, come on. Oh, we are catching, but it's not quick enough. 303, 304 Ks across the line, and there you go. AMS2, Racing USA pack. Is it a game changer? No, not really. In my opinion anyway. I think they're making good progress still, but that always seems to be what I hear about AMS2. Oh, they're coming along, it's making good progress, but I don't know. What are you paying for? Are you paying for a beta to be a part of, or are you paying for a finished game? You've got to think of it that way sometimes. And again, in certain circumstances, this game really excels. You know, this day and night transition, chef's kiss. Love it. But the thing is that other games are starting to catch up now. Assetto Corsa has this as a mod, and in some circumstances, again, it looks better. So then you have to think, what's left? What is there left of AMS2? Cool car list, cool track list. Some cars still decent, some cars still feel awful. This car, for me, doesn't really feel like a DPI car, if I'm honest. But yeah, guys, as always, I'm very much interested to hear your opinions. AMS2 for me is still not a sim that I want to put a lot of time into, because I don't think I'll really get much out of it that is rewarding. But for things like that, just to jump in and just experience what it might be like to drive a Daytona in day and night, this still does this really damn well. So again, nothing but love for the guys at Racer and AMS2. I want this to be as successful as it possibly can be, but I just don't think it's there yet, and it seems that every time we check in, it maybe is a little bit closer, like a tiny bit, but not enough to make me think, oh wow, now I want to drive this exclusively. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, I appreciate you tapping that like button. You can subscribe as well if you want. A big thank you to everybody who came to support us at Alton Park last weekend. I met so many of you guys. You were all amazing and lovely, and it was so nice to see so many sort of smiling faces there to support myself and Jem and Goldie. So even though it didn't go our way, it was still amazing to have you all there. If you want to support the channel further, you can do so by hitting the join button down below and becoming a channel member, or by becoming a patron. Again, link in the description below. Take care, have an awesome day. I'll see you all next time.